Welcome back to the MLG on Tasteless. With me is Artosis, and we got a pretty sick matchup today. We already saw Kiwi Kaki go down. Yes, we do.
Tasteless,
we've never been
I am so excited.
I'm pumped.
You should be too. Because
you know why?
We are going to be seeing two of my best buds, SixJax Major against Liquid Tyler. Sick match. Let's go over some things, Tasteless. We're up to the top 20 of the tournament. Things are getting real. These guys are serious.
I don't want either of them to be eliminated.
No, I do not either.
It's too bad they can't be a draw, and then the next match is a free-for-all with 3 players.
A fun little stat, by the way. Tyler just took out Vibe 2-1. Eliminated him from getting a seed for the second MLG in a row. So that's kind of sad and funny at the same time. Now going up against his teammate, mine as well, Major, who has had some amazing TVPs so far.
You know, Major, he's really impressing me here with the staged matches.
Staged match.
I'm like with the rigged matches we've casted. I know with the stage matches we've seen, he's blowing me away. His usage of ghosts in the late game, even his attitude going into this tournament is really impressive. Not cocky, not doubtful, just sort of going with the flow. I think that's sort of the right way to approach a tournament like this. Tyler, he's very smart. His style is sort of, I wouldn't even say evolved, almost like mutated into something new. Here with Starcraft 2, since seeing him in early Starcraft 2 or Starcraft 1.
Yeah. Now, I do want to point out that a lot of Major's strengths comes from multiple drops, a lot of great multitasking, and superior macro. Now, here's the thing. Tyler, I think, in my opinion, might be the smartest Protoss player in the world, but not the best. He's not the best player. He's very good.
I think he's smart when you speak to him.
Yeah, he's
but in the game, I see him
make
make some mistakes.
Oh,
sometimes.
Course. Everyone makes mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Except for Tasteless. He's not a human. He's an
I've
idea.
never done that before. I've read about mistakes in books, but I've never seen them.
But Tyler, I feel like he is the player. If any Protoss in this tournament may beat Major, I think Tyler might look at his style and say, you know what? I know how to defend this, and just have all this stuff in the right places, play a very defensive game and hit his timings right. So I'm like really excited to see how this match goes.
Well, are you ready to start it?
Tasteless. It's time to let me make sure they're ready.
I asked them. They said okay.
Okay.
We're ready. It's game time. Tyler against Major, 2 top-tier players. Tyler, very old school. Major, sort of up and coming. If you look at StarCraft history, RTS history, who's going to win? I don't know. But let's do this. We're here at MLG in Columbus, Ohio. I'm Tasteless. With me is Artosis. We're Tastosis. And we're about to see a pretty sick PvT.
That we are, Tasteless.
Over here in the upper right, we have Tyler, formerly known as Noni. Down here in the bottom left, we have Major. And what was Major's previous ID, Artosis?
Princess Brittany, Ghosty Terran.
Ghosty Terran, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that was the one he was most known as at the end of StarCraft 1. Didn't play StarCraft 2 too much. Played a little bit during the beta and whatnot, but really came back more recently and has shown amazing potential. Tyler, on the other hand, of course, a TSL 2 champion, ex-pro gamer in Korea. We know him very, very well. Great friend of mine. And just unbelievably intelligent.
Yeah, very talented player here.
I think he can look into his own thoughts and figure out play by himself better than anybody.
He's very introspective. Yes. I think it's the best way to describe this guy.
So I'm just so excited to see how this goes, what builds they use. Tyler, very well known for playing a more passive style a lot of the time, but not just that. He does a lot of upgrades. He is basically the guy that invented Double Forge in Protoss vs. Terran, so I'm sure a lot of you Terrans out there shake your fist at him.
Now we see the barracks coming up here for Major. Interesting placement, not walling in, but at the same time not near the command center. I don't know if that's the best move. It is open to some risks, of course. Then again, he's against Liquid Tyler. He's not really a risk taker.
Very true. Major is getting his gas, as we just saw, Tasteless, and I think that the reason between not walling in and getting his gas, I think it's going to be a Marauder expand, perhaps a Reaper first, but with a Marauder expand, you're going to be pretty okay not walling in. You'd be all right.
You'd be all right.
You'd be fine.
You'd be just fine. Don't worry.
So Marine being started instantly. Got to chase that probe out. I'm sure he'll make a tech lab right after.
Yeah, you really can't go tech lab before Marine.
No, you can't. It's like very risky.
You spend too much time exposing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll change in the future. I mean, the metagame does constantly evolve here.
Certainly. You know, if he made a factory, I'd be very, very surprised. Normally, he might Tasteless.
Really?
He's mixing it up. Look at this, a second Marine and a second gas. This is something that Major doesn't do too often in this matchup, and that might be part of the reason. You know, I'm sure that Tyler, you know, looked back at some of his games and thought hard about how to beat him correctly, and the factory has started. So Tyler getting his core done, getting that second gas. This is already turning into a pretty interesting game, Tasteless. And now that he's going factory, I gotta ask myself, with the 2 gas, is he gonna go for siege tanks? Because that would be something that would be really reflective of his style overall. It'd be very safe and whatnot. Or will he go for something fancy like a Banshee?
He could do that as well. I mean, one thing about going Banshees, if Protoss isn't prepared, Protoss loses.
That's quite true.
With some of these more creative Protoss players, they tend to get used to not going for Banshees, or not going against Banshees, rather. And he's going for a Robo, so he will be Banshee-proof in this case.
Now, that is actually one thing about Tyler. This guy knows how to stop Banshees, and it looks like it is going to be Banshees, most likely. Could be a Raven, though. Might be going for the Tasteless build.
Could be.
The actual Tasteless build, not the
one, not the one that we joke about, but the one that we were doing. I was doing a long time ago.
The Robo, this is so standard for Tyler. Most likely he will go 3 Gateway Robo Expand. That's basically the safest thing you can do in PvT as an opener. It's infinitely safe. You'll have observers, you'll know exactly what's going on, and you'll have enough production facilities that you can stop any rush if you react correctly.
Generally speaking, when you do this build, you end up not ahead, but still alive.
Yeah,
no matter what.
It's the most conservative and safe build. Definitely a build that I use a lot. And you see, that's exactly what he's doing. Will he get 1 observer or 2? I suspect it's going to be 2. And unfortunately for Major Tasteless, he is getting Cloak.
Major, you know, I really respect this guy. He's highly intelligent. It's funny because when you see Major interviewed, he seems kind of docile, passive.
Yeah. He's a young kid.
Relaxed, but then when you see him in the game, it's a totally different situation.
Oh, yeah.
He's scary, he's aggressive, he's in your face. It's an interesting thing. Here comes the Nexus. Well. Yeah, he macros well. Unlike in person.
Yeah, man. In person, he doesn't really macro that much. You know, he's a little bit sloppy with it. Now
there
we
you
do
go.
See the Observer coming in. He's going to see Cloak being upgraded. Will Major cancel the Cloak? Tyler has got a second Observer being made at his base, as we see on the production tab. So this Cloak is actually going to be like the most worthless, terrible thing. And he has not canceled it yet, Tasteless. He should be able to see that that Observer. And in fact, Ghosty, calling Ghosty Terran now, that sounds like this is actually really weird. He hasn't started a command center yet.
I think Ghosty might be in trouble here.
I think he might be going for an all-in. Yeah,
well,
he's actually making a Raven.
There's no command center here.
And he finishes Cloak.
Now, you know, I have a little bit of beef with this build.
Yeah, oh, I think I know what's going on.
What? Talk to me.
Okay. Notice he does have Cloak, and this will be chased away, but he wants to not lose it. If he loses it, that will be terrible. And he's taking a lot of damage right now. He's got to get out of there. Okay, and he does. Phew. All right. Here's the thing, Tasteless, and I've seen some Terrans do this. There is an all-in where you do get Cloaked Banshees, and it's kind of like the Tasteless build where you have a lot of Marines, some Siege Tanks, the Raven, you get Point Defense Drone. But with the Cloaked Banshees, plus Marines and a Raven, you oftentimes can snipe the Observer. So if Tyler is sloppy at all and loses his Observer during the battle, the Cloaked Banshees can turn it around completely. So that may be what we're seeing here.
It looks like it. He's now salvaging bunkers.
So this rush is going to come very quickly, Tasteless. Tyler, though, already getting a ton of units. As we see, his build extremely safe. He's already got 4th Gateway. And this is going to be hard for Ghosty Terran to break him. I'm sorry, Major, SixJax Major.
You know, this is why we call Songho. Yeah. Now he is bringing out the SCVs, the Marines, the Siege Tanks.
It's quite an all-in.
The Raven is actually in the back for some reason.
And
I think this might be a mistake.
His Banshee tried to go back in the main base, Tasteless.
Oh!
He spent so much money on that Banshee and Cloak and got 0 kills. A huge waste. He is in just a terrible spot right now. I'm trying to imagine a way in which he can win this game. This is going to be unbelievably difficult. He does not have Siege mode yet. He does have only just 1 Banshee right now with Cloak.
Now it's just Sentry Zealot. Will this work? I don't know. Sometimes I think when I see these builds,
he has to get these bunkers up.
Yeah, they have to finish. I was
and
gonna say,
Tyler walking around.
I like it.
Just walking around. Where is the Raven right now?
The Raven is actually back here. This game is a train wreck.
So here comes Liquid Tyler. He's going right in with those Zealots. I mean, nice targeting by Major, taking out some sentries and whatnot.
This game is a bit depressing, Artosis.
Yeah, Major is just being absolutely
Every once in a while, guys, in a high-level game, you'll see something like this. The key unit, the staple unit, is actually back here. I feel bad for Major. He's good.
Yeah.
But clearly, not organized in this game.
That would have been such a different fight with that Raven point defense drone out. The Stalkers would have done no damage for quite a while. It's a shame.
The Raven remains.
The game is quite over at this point.
Yeah. Well, this is just too bad for Major. It's early in the morning here, at least at nerd time. Major still has not caught on to the fact that this Raven is out of place. GG's.
All right.
I feel bad. That was a little bit depressing, man.
Yeah, that was a sloppy all-in. I'm kind of sad. Well, it's good to mix things up.
Yeah.
And go all in every now and then, because that is not something Major does much. But
a botched all in is.
It's like a botched all in. Not only a botched all in, but he didn't cancel Cloak. I would have killed to see him cancel Cloak, man. Definitely not the best game that we've seen.
And basically, guys, if you're a little bit confused about what happened there, the key unit is the Raven. You use the point defense drone to absorb the Stalker fire, and from there the siege tanks do too much damage. The Marines and SCVs buffer, so the siege tanks can't be hit, and it's GG.
That's it, Tasteless.
Buddy left the Raven in the middle of the map. Totally big mistake.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know if that was the most articulate way to describe that game. Totally big mistake, but you know what I mean. All right, we're being invited to the next game. And before we do that, let's go to a commercial real fast. We'll be back soon.